Torchwood in 3 words. Sexy, dark, dangerous. It's set in a real world.
It's Earth-based.
It's a chance for us to tell modern science fiction stories.
Alien stories, paranormal stories.
It's having something to say about the world.
I think we've gone past that stage.
In a more adult way.
We have design teams here who work on Doctor who were dying to move on to these areas.
Who are you?
Torchwood.
The series Torchwood came out of an idea from Russell. He had the idea for the show in his mind already way before Doctor Who. It was his way of telling a more adult, paranormal, strange, post-Watershed show.
There are stories bursting out of all our heads that will involve to a certain amount of sex and violence, and without getting off on sex and violence, but incorporating them as part of good modern-day urban storytelling.
Torchwood is an organization that is above the United Nations, it's above the CIA, MI5, MI6. We basically have the power to investigate crime and move the police out of the way if we think there's some type of alien intervention or aliens involved in it.
It's a slightly rogue organization. It does what it wants. It answers to no one.
And we're very secretive and no one really knows much about us.
But who's in charge of you? Is it the government or what?
We're separate from the government, outside the police, beyond the United Nations. Because if one power got hold of this stuff, they could use it for their own purposes.
But so could you.
Right from the start, it was important to know what the vision of the series was, which is why tone meetings are so vital.
Compared to Doctor Who, especially, this series is real. It's really set in Cardiff. You know, the real laws of physics apply to them. If they're shot, they will be hurt. They go home, they have tea, they once went to school, they have lovers, they have friends, so it's a real series.
Some questions started to occur to me that haven't done before on Doctor Who, where it's very clear, it's pre-Watershed, it's family. How far are we going? How much blood? How violent are we going?
I think we should go as much as we can on the shoot and then give ourselves the option. And it's not a gore fest, but I don't mean that by any sense, but when it does happen, it gets back to what you're saying, it's real.
I thought it was really important to ask those kind of questions because as a team, we'd never made a post-Watershed show before.
Captain Jack is a hero, swashbuckler, he's a rogue. I like to think of myself as a criminal.
I bet you do.
For those of you who know him from Doctor Who, you started out not liking Captain Jack, and then, thank God, a lot of you turned around and started to like him.
You're not allowed in there. Archive 6 is out of bounds.
Do I look like an out-of-bounds sort of guy?
He's still got the same agenda, but he's a bit more of a darker character. He's not as giving as he was in Doctor Who.
There's a mystery at the heart of Captain Jack's character once he's been brought back to life by the gorgeous, amazing Rose Tyler in Doctor Who.
I bring life.
But it's great to be Captain Jack. It's great. It was when I came back on the first day, it was like reuniting with an old friend, because all of a sudden he came right back to me. It was as if he'd never left, and I was really glad to get back with Jack, basically.
Captain Jack Harkness is the head of the Torchwood Cardiff team.
Shall we?
And underneath him, he has Owen Harper.
Dr. Owen Harper, thank you. Owen Harper is somebody who's found himself in a situation that he would never have thought he would have been in. He's fairly sort of sharp and ironic.
How do you switch off from all this stuff?
I torture people in happy relationships, and a bit moody, really.
Freezing my ass off here.
But through the series, we see him thaw, we see the real Owen. He has a hard outside, a soft inside.
I can't do this, I'm sorry. I'm rubbish, I give up.
There's Toshiko Sato, who is the computer expert.
She is the technical expert on Torchwood. I think people tend to think she's quite shy and quiet, but in fact I think she's just a private person. What you'll find is throughout the series, the layers start to unravel, if you like. It's an interesting journey she has.
The second in command of the whole team is Susie Costello, also specialises in weaponry and hardware. And behind that, there's the faithful Yanto.
Yanto cleans up after us and gets us everywhere on time. I try my best.
He's initially introduced as the Torchwood receptionist.
But don't keep on waiting.
It's a little bit more involved as the series progresses.
This might help.
He's probably the one with his feet on the ground.
Who's for Chinese?
He says this type of things maybe audience members at home would say in the situations that the team are thrown into.
Careful, that's harassment, sir.
And that's the world that Gwen Cooper walks into, who's not a member of the Torchwood team. She is an ordinary PC. With an ordinary life, ordinary boyfriend, ordinary flat, who comes across extraordinary events happening.
It's all about her engaging into this different world and accepting it and not screaming her face off and running out, you know. And that's what attracts Jack, is that she doesn't react like that. She reacts in this rather extraordinary way.
Gwen brings back the kind of heart to Jack.
She thinks she knows where Torchwood is based.
She has kind of taken on the persona of a pizza delivery girl, and in she comes and is not sure what to expect.
And that's when it all kind of unravels.
And action.
Oh, hiya. Sorry I'm late.
Someone ordered pizza?
Who's it for?
I think it was, Mr. Harkness.
Well, don't keep on waiting.
In the history of Doctor Who, we established that there's a time rift, time and space rift running through Cardiff.
The thing is, Cardiff's got this rift running through the middle of the city. It's invisible, but it's like an earthquake fault between different dimensions.
But that was set in Cardiff and established that there was a dimensional instability here. We discover now that rift has survived and is very much why Torchwood was always based here, actually, because things fall through.
The hub is the main base of where a lot of the action of Torchwood happens. When I first saw the hub completed, I couldn't believe that they'd built that.
Very excited. Oh, it's huge!
I was amazed. I was truly just shocked.
This is massive.
It's all different levels. It's very grubby. There's water, like a lake in the middle of it.
So your office is there. That's where you work and live.
This is cool. And that's the part of the obelisk.
Bottom of the fountain.
Unbelievable.
It kind of looks like a tube station, except there was no tube station in Cardiff at any time, so we've kind of artistic license in a sense.
The Mill are going to do a 3D CGI ceiling, so that basically it will look like it's actually another story taller than this. So whenever the camera sort of goes up, it'll be even taller
deeper
than this, yeah.
It's got a mortuary. Everything you would need in a scientific kind of lab, we have it, and more.
This is just really cool. This is wicked.
It's a bit good, isn't it?
It's very good.
From a lighting point of view, it can be a lot much darker program. Still beautiful. I mean, it's still got to look very beautiful with all the practical light elements, and you're still creating beautiful imagery. But you can be a lot darker with it, and of course, you can play a bit more with the horror side of things, and make things feel much more uncomfortable.
Torchwood is a chance to tell not just a different story every week, but a different type of story every week.
You're going to see romance, you're going to see action, you're going to get aliens.
It's got a real oomph.
We've got great big epic stories.
We're going to explore Jack's past. Something happened to me a while back.
There are monster stories.
Always fast, always exciting.
It looks unbelievable.
But never quite what you expect it to be.
It's going to be British television like you've never seen it before.